This is Keith Sharber, and I'm sitting here today with City Commission candidate Bob Glenn. And we're going to spend some time with Bob to learn more about his Visions 2012 campaign for the Owensboro City Commission on Tuesday, November the 6th. In this segment, I want to spend a little time with Bob to learn about his background and what he feels are his qualifications for a seat on the Owensboro City Commission. Bob, welcome. And first of all, tell me what inspired you to run for the Owensboro City Commission.
Well, Keith, this is an exciting time in our city's history. There's a lot going on. We've got a new hospital. Of course, we've got a $100 million riverfront downtown development sector going up. We've got a lot of new industry. U.S. Bank has come in the last 6 months and employed a lot of our citizens. It's an exciting time to live in Owensboro, but I also feel it's a time of challenge, particularly in the long term. The city has a lot of financial, structural, and community challenges, and we need good leadership to lead us through this period of change and transformation for the community. A lot of good can come through it, but we want to also make sure we maintain our eye on the prize, and that is employing as many of our citizens as we can, promoting economic development while not creating such a tax burden on our citizens and residents that we make our community an unattractive place to live. So that's why I'm running. I love living in Owensboro as a community. There's so many pluses to it, but I think we can do better in terms of leadership.
Bob, share with me a little bit about your background.
Sure. I'm an educator. I've taught for the last 22 years at Owensboro Community and Technical College. I'm a full professor there. I teach communication, which means I teach the dreaded public speaking class along with interpersonal communication, argumentation, and I coach our speech and debate team. I've been very active in civic affairs. I have a doctoral degree in communication. My wife Holly is also a teacher. She's a high school teacher in Tell City, Indiana, drives over there during the school year. We have two perfect children. We like to think they're perfect. Caitlin, who has just finished her freshman year at U of L, and my son, who's preparing. He's graduated from Davis County High School, and he'll be going to Brescia in the fall. So my background in terms of the community is I've been involved in a lot of civic organizations, which I'll detail in a few minutes, and been pretty active in our community on a number of levels, educationally, socially, in terms of philanthropic groups, all that.
Bob, speaking of, and you referenced your profile in the community and different endeavors you've been involved in the community. Let's go ahead and expound on those now. What type of community leadership experience do you possess?
Well, first and foremost, I've been chair of a neighborhood alliance, which is a 13 neighborhood coalition between city and citizens. The neighborhood alliances are designed to improve the quality of life for the average citizen in this community through development projects, through hosting events, and I've been chair of the Seven Hills Alliance for over a decade. I've won a couple of awards for my service, but I consider that success not to be my success, but our organization's success. The other is I've been president of several local organizations. I've been president of a local Toastmasters chapter. I've served as an officer in several professional organizations. I've been president of our state speech association. Actually brought them back from the abyss. There was a period in the early 2000s when the organization was about to exist no more, and we were able to get their financial and membership situation righted while I was president. I'm still treasurer of that organization. I've been involved with Pride. I've been involved with the We the People forums. I have been involved heavily in church activities. I attend Settle Memorial. We used to attend Trinity United Methodist Church. I'm a pretty active member of that church. I'm a lay speaker in the United Methodist Church, so I get to see a variety of churches throughout our region. So as a consequence, I think I've been pretty involved. Plus, I'm involved in athletics. I've been a coach. I've been an athletic official. So I've seen a wide spectrum of our community, and what I've been involved in has been a blessing. I've enjoyed every minute of my civic service, and I want to move that to the next level by becoming a city commissioner.
Speaking of going to the next level, a member potentially of the Owensboro City Commission, what do you feel makes you prepared to take that step and to serve in the capacity as a commissioner for the city of Owensboro?
Well, I think the first thing, Keith, is you have to realize that when you're elected to a body such as the City Commission, you represent all of Owensboro. You don't represent a district or a neighborhood. You represent the entire community. Our community has significant needs. Riverfront development is an important project, but we have all kinds of needs. We have development needs, we have blighted neighborhoods, we have an underemployment and unemployment issue in our community, we have a poverty issue, a rich-poor gap in our community, and all those things need to be addressed. Now, what makes me uniquely qualified is being involved with the Neighborhood Alliance. We deal with the city all the time, so I'm very conversant with what's been going on, some of the different projects and programs the city's put in place, and I have my own opinions about some of those. The biggest issue is you need people on the City Commission that, number one, are going to ask questions. They're not simply going to rubber stamp policies and procedures that are put in place or dictated either by the city manager or the mayor. The second is you've got to have somebody that will do the homework, and I'll do the homework. That means preparing for a work session or a meeting. It means you read and prepare and review all the materials so that you don't show up unprepared, so you can represent your constituents in the best way. And that's the last thing. As a Neighborhood Alliance chair, I get calls all the time about poor property upkeep or an animal control issue or just an issue concerning crime in our area. And like a city commissioner, I go out, I talk to my neighbors, I find out the scope and nature of the problem. I don't expect to stop doing that as a city commissioner. I promise that every member of our community that has a major issue, I'll try to connect them with the right service or agency. I'm not going to ignore their phone call or their email or even their face-to-face encounter. I think it's important to get out from behind the desk and get out of the office and still be in the community when you're an elected official, and I promise to do that.
Bob, thank you for giving us this opportunity to become better acquainted with you and your visions for 2012 and the Owensboro City Commission race.